Let me start with just a little backstory for those that don't know about the story. Yes, it's been trending for a while. A story about Ejiro, a young lady whom her family declares is missing. But Ejiro herself came out and said she's not missing, that she wants to be left alone. So in today's video, I will give my opinion on the whole matter, what I think about Ejiro and what I think about the family members. And this is going to be very objective because I've heard both sides of the story. I've watched several videos regarding both sides of the story. So in this video, the reason why I'm making this video particularly is for single people, because more often than not in this part of the world, single people are seen as not serious, like people that don't know what they want, and sometimes they get pressured by family members. Yes, by family members. In today's video, I'll be highlighting Ejiro's story in light of what single people are going through, and I also will be objectively highlighting her side of the story, her family, what they are saying about the issue, so that at the end of the day, we'll make our informed decision. So now let me start. First of all, there's this lady they call Ejiro. She's based in Abuja and quite known and popular for people in Abuja, especially on Instagram. Yes, she's a fashion designer and she was doing quite well and she had high-level clientele. But suddenly, she just decided to close her business, that she wanted time to be alone. She wanted to pursue her spiritual growth and all that. And this was one of the things that made her family members, they felt like it was a red flag, that she has now joined a kind of like cult, that maybe they are taking her money or they are doing things to her. So the family members came out and they talked about how that she just stopped keeping in touch with the family. She's on her own. She doesn't want to be disturbed, but they feel like she's being manipulated. Now, talking for the family members, from the videos I have watched, they seem to be genuine. They seem to be a family that they are very close, that they do things together, that they look out for one another. Ejiro was described by her family members as a very nice and caring individual. And they also talked about how in the past, when one family member had an issue, the rest family members will come together. Yes, they are a very close-knit family. And so they are worried because Ejiro, for some reason, has decided that she doesn't want anything to do with the family. Now, on Ejiro's part, she has come out and she said, I'm an adult. Please, you guys should leave me. It's my life. If I don't want to keep in touch with you, I don't want to keep in touch with you. Please leave me alone. So she's really angry. Now, let me talk about the reasons why she decided to keep to herself. She said that she was trying to pursue her spiritual growth and that she has seen a place where she can do that. You know, this often happens if as a human being or as a person, you are deciding to do something new, something, it doesn't even have to do with your spiritual growth or anything. You just want to do something new. You want to start something new. You need time to be secluded. So seclusion is not a problem here. Seclusion is not a problem. But now the question to ask, is she being manipulated? Ejiro herself has come out to say that nobody is taking anything from her, that they are not forcing her, that, you know, that even the founder of the organization that she belongs to, the Christian organization, goes out of her way to help people. Now, we will not know the outcome. In time, more details will emerge. But the reason I want to talk about this is that sometimes single people, sometimes they are seen as unserious. They are seen as people that cannot take decisions by themselves. Ejiro, the person I'm talking about, is a single person. So there is this tendency for people to think that, oh, single people can be easily hoodwinked or easily deceived. But when it comes to the case of spiritual abuse in Nigeria, we must all know one thing, that even people that are married with children, get spiritually abused, get hoodwinked, get deceived by some so-called men of God. So it shouldn't be seen as because, oh, Ejiro is a single person, she cannot take decisions on her own. That is one thing I want to be clear. As a single person, you are intelligent, you can take informed decisions. But if we have to be honest, we know that single people get lonely. single people could get lonely, and they could now, in the bid to be with people, get into the wrong company. It's a possibility. That may be one of the reasons that Ejiro decided to pursue that, being in a group. Sometimes as a single person, you just want to belong to a group, or you want to belong to people. You want to feel like you are relevant, you are important. You don't want to feel sidelined. That may have been one of the reasons that made Ejiro seek that particular group to be part of. But she hasn't said that. I'm just giving some suggestions. But one thing I want to state categorically, I want to make clear here, is that anybody can be hoodwinked, single or married. Now, and Ejiro is not the first person. In case people don't know, she's not the first person that has decided to seek a different path in her life, especially spiritually. Now, in Nigeria, we know someone they call Nathanielbassey. Yes, Nathanielbassey, today he's known. He has a huge platform. He's a very, very well-known musician. In fact, he was invited to America to sing during the inauguration, Donald Trump's inauguration. So he's one of the events regarding Donald Trump's inauguration. So he's a very, very known person. But there was a time in his life that he had to take a decision. And I don't know if he was single then, maybe he was, but he had to take a decision that did not make sense. For example, as a person that had interest in music, he got an admission in a school in America, University of Berkeley. I'm not sure now if he had a scholarship, but it seemed like he had a scholarship. But if he did not have a scholarship, please put it in comments. And he decided not to take the scholarship. You can imagine how the situation would have been for him that time, because he knew that he had something to do in Nigeria. He knew that he had been called for something different. But imagine, you see how we in this part of the world, we are crazy about getting scholarships, about relocating. You have people that practically sell all their properties, do whatever they need to do, even lie, they cheat, just to have enough money to relocate. And now here is somebody getting an admission, possibly a scholarship, and refusing it. So people would say there's something wrong with you. Why are you refusing it? But at the end of the day, today we can stand and boldly say that Nathanielbassey, I think he's doing much better than he would have done if he had relocated. So sometimes, as a human being, as a single person, you need some space to take your decisions. So family members, they always have good intentions, but their good intention may not always be what is good for you. Yes, I'm not saying it's what is happening in Ejiro's case, but generally, so that people don't start seeing this thing as, oh, if you want to be closer to God, this is what it leads to. If you want to be isolated, most of this, why I'm using the Christian environment, is that Ejiro's case, she's a Christian, and people that know her say she loves God, and she decided to maybe seek further closeness with God or whatever, and it seems as if there's a problem. So, but it's not always the case. Sometimes you seek God. Many of these men of God, I don't want to mention names because it's not like, I don't want to idolize any man of God, but we know some of them that are well known today. When they started, they had to take decisions that even their family members would consider not doing the right thing. So if you are a single person, you have an idea, you want to do something, don't be coerced. So we shouldn't see this thing as, oh, everything that a family member says is correct. No, sometimes family members they want your good, but your good, it may not be what is good for you at that particular point. For you to mature, you have to come to a place as a single person. Once you get to a certain age, you have to come to a place of maturity, a place where they have to respect you. The respect should not be only because you are married. No, as a single person, you deserve and you should insist on being respected. Yes, that is the one point I want to say. The second point I want to bring out here is that seeking spiritual, maybe enlightenment, or trying to get close to God there's no problem in that. It's a good thing to do. For everybody created, for you to live a life that with purpose, you are supposed to know exactly why you are on this earth, and it takes time alone. You cannot be around people and be able to determine what God wants for you. You need time to be apart. You need time to be with God to find out what is good for you. So this should not discourage others that Ejiro's case, because it's happening like this, oh, people will now say, please, I don't want to discover others. Now, one thing I'm saying in this Ejiro's matter is that she should ask herself some questions. Is she there for the Joy Solomon woman, or is she there for God? That is one thing everybody, we should all know God for ourselves. Even Ejiro's family, that's what they are saying. That everybody, you should know God for yourself. So that when a prophet or a man of God or whatever that person is called comes to you and suggests some things that may not be proper, you'll be able to say, no, thank you. This is not what God is telling me. So I'm hoping that Ejiro, wherever she is, she's not being manipulated, that she knows exactly what she's doing. She's not being coerced, because when you get close to God, whatever he will tell you certain things and people will confirm. It's not people that will direct, especially as an adult. Nobody has that right to direct your life. If you want to see God, the Holy Spirit is the person that will direct you. So I hope Ejiro knows what she's doing. Yes. And also, I hope the family, they are not being biased. I hope they are there for genuine reasons. Yes, even if it looks as if, at least from the videos I saw, they seem to be genuine. But I hope that is what they really are. They are genuine. It's not like they are worried because, okay, someone is taking their sister's money and all that, and it's not going to certain people. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not accusing them of that, but it could also, there are some family members that try to suppress a family member. They want, so that they can manipulate the family member and fleece the family member. You hear about cases where people actually, when their brother dies, or their relation dies, male relation, they now take everything from the children. That shows that from the beginning they didn't have honest intentions. Yes, you hear stories of this from time to time, especially in this part of the world, where wives are denied of their rights, and the children also suffer. Uncles and aunties come and take. I'm not saying that's the same for Ejiro's families, but I'm just trying to say that we should have a balanced perspective. It's not all the time that the family members are right. And it's not all the time that someone that seeks spiritual enlightenment is right. Whatever you do,